I think it's really important to kind of discuss with our listeners and viewership. Our friend group is very cemented and we've been together for a very long time, but the majority of us had a bulk of our life, more so like in the introductory years, where we were middle class as fuck in the West Valley, and we were only exposed to we were the black kid at school.
Yeah.
It wasn't several, it was one. Yeah. It was either of us.
5 of us.
And then when we found each other, it was kind of like a refuge. Yeah, we could exhale. There's a refuge. That's why we're all there's a sistership, there's a kinship there. We're family. It's not just a friendship. I know to the outside world, it looks super kind of like Hollywood because several of our friends have obtained whatever jobs they've obtained and it is what it is. But this is like a very real thing. And I think being biracial, there is a level of belonging and non-belonging that is consistent in just existence when you're biracial. And to have a tribe and a friendship group that has turned into family that make you feel like you always belong. Like we've never chastised each other like, yeah, but you're like we'll do sly little kiki jokes.
Ping pang.
Yeah, you little ping pang. Or when I speak Spanish and you clown me.
It's still funny.
But I mean, at the end of the day, we're also going to be like, Asia, bring that chicken adobo to the Thanksgiving. Karuchi, see if you can, you know what I mean? Like, Jen, if you want to cook, like, we all also celebrate, like, Feffy, if you're making this from Colombia, you know, like, we celebrate each other's differences, and that is so massive. Yeah. And it literally just makes me feel so fucking warm inside, like a little gay.
Hell yeah. It's amazing, you know, and obviously it feels good to be able to see people and see yourself. Like when I look at you, like it's funny because we're not blood sisters, right?
No.
We found each other way early and then we were like, ooh.
Spoiler alert!
Right. But it was just like, no, it's the truth though. It was like we found each other and we were like, ooh, soulmates, sisters, this is it. And like for the first literal like 15 years, we made everybody believe that we were real life sisters.
Right.
And I really believed it, bitch.
You also were one of them. you guys weren't on your own. Asia was right there with you.
I believed it. But part of that came from like seeing
we craved
you.
that sistership.
And when I looked at you, I saw you, I recognized you. I actually like understood curly hair problems. You know what I mean? Dealing with, not for nothing, like I hate to be like mixed girl privilege, but dealing with like, oh, you've got that good hair or not knowing like where to fit in. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's
too mixed to be black, but then not black enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
to be accepted.
Yeah.
And then, no, of course. And those stereotypes. And I feel like at the same time, like there's a level of like, and I don't want this to be any sort of like divisive rhetoric because that's not what the fuck we're on.
No,
like,
not at all.
I have constantly gotten from kind of just bougie people that are like, yeah, but you don't count. And it's like, no, bitch.
I do.
I'm them.
Yeah.
They're me.
We're
you
the
got
same.
me fucked up.
That's my sister.
And the only reason
That's my
I smack you up is because I was raised by a black family and we're not allowed to bitch slap elders. So other than that, you would be smacked the fuck up.
Yeah, but it's true. But it's also like you think about our parents. Like, yeah, we went to school in the Valley, but my mom grew up on Slauson and Crenshaw.
Right.
You know?
My dad grew up in Crenshaw and Adams. And the thing about it is, now that we're older and like you have children and like I have nieces and nephews and I'm kind of like understanding it from a different perspective, our parents really made a cognitive effort. Like my child is not going to be raised with in the same neighborhood. Yeah, but not only just this, they're not going to be raised in a police state. They're not going to be profiled. They're not going to be subjected to this kind of bullshit that I was subjected to. They're not going to have to overcome the hurdles that I had to overcome. They're not going to have to deal with the hardships I had to deal with. And me and you were on that bus to the hood every weekend, Jack.
But it was also, too, like my mom was very big on, like, she just wanted me to be well-rounded. Like, she was like, you're going to go to school in the Valley, but come summers, you're going to go stay right there on 54th and 8th Ave.
Yeah.
You're going to go, you know, I was at World on Wheels every summer. I had a freaking, what was that hotline number?
Oh, that hotline number was the party line,
the party
bitch.
line. I had two. I had one for the Valley and one for LA.
Oh, you were lit. Because what I would do is call one of my LA friends and be like, call the party line.
Well, because the ones in LA couldn't call 818 number.
No,
bitch.
I know. That's why I would go to Wilda's. You go right to Wilda's. She got a 3232, Abraham. What, you can't call me now?
Exactly. But it was more based around like wanting me to be more diverse. Like you're going to know this, but you're also going to know this. And it's not just going to be one or the other.
And now we've all kind of evolved to this place where it's like, you can't put me in a circumstance where I feel uncomfortable. There is no room where I feel like less than. That scenario doesn't exist. And that's because of the way that I was raised and what I was exposed to.
Yeah.
At the same time, I feel like all of us suffer from hood nigga syndrome, where we just are like, well, we want this guy.
You suffer.
Oh, you don't?
Bitch,
okay. So shout out to your baby daddy, a stellar doctor who graduated from Harvard.
I went to New York and got fucking caught up in New York, bitch. That was a New York mentality. That was an LA girl.
Fuck out of here.
Bitch,
we all suffer from the same shit.
No, that was
yes, we do.
That was an LA girl literally absorbed in New York culture, wanting that.
Do you remember before you moved to New York, we would walk
Washington Heights. Why do you think I got a whole Dominican son, girl?
You used to.
I got a whole Dominican son based off of Washington Heights off MTV. I don't even remember those
They only made one season and they done changed your whole life. You done fucked your whole... They made one season with them 18-year-old Dominican kids running around in the Heights. You went to La Marina, it's done.
She's okay, let me to the Bronx, 174th and Grand Concourse. Let me tell you something.
I remember when that show came out, you were like, I want one of Dominican.
Because they tricked you. Because you thought they were black.
You.
No,
they tricked you.
Dominicans will get you because you think they're black and then they open up their mouth and they speak Spanish and you're like, huh?
You don't even know they're not black till you hear them talk to their mom.
Bitch,
you're like, whoa.
I was confused and I got. Then when I went to Dominican,
we just got Mexicans.
Exactly.
LA.
Yeah, that's what it is. No, you go to Dominican Republic and they think I'm Dominican.
They speak Spanish right up. That's how I felt when I go to New York. They'd be like, "Mami,
right? Que lo que? Like, huh? What? Yeah." But I did know how to make a pollo guisado. So shout out to my Dominican family because we are tight.
I love your multi-ethnic son. He's a beauty.
Yeah, speaks Spanish. He's learning Tagalog, and he's growing up on the West Coast and the East Coast.
Right.
Dream come true.
That's one thing we can say. Same thing. Shout out to my niece.
Yeah. D.
Young D. Spanish, English, Hebrew. We out here.
All of it. Learn it all.
Right.
But that brings everything into the melting pot of this generation. Like,
no, 100%. We're only going to get more mixed.
Only more mixed.
Nobody's celibate.
And I really hope that what it does is just washes out all of racism.
The bigotry.
And bullshit.
Well, there's always going to be bigotry, fascism, capitalism. All that shit is going to exist. Of course, I'm counting down the days until all these white dinosaurs die. But that's morbid and grim, so you can't say that. My thing is that they're all in their last leg. They're not going to make it too far. They're not. And you see these kids out here that are doing these rallies, that are doing these marches.
The new generation is
They don't
ready.
have time for any of you white dinosaurs. They're not listening to you.
The revolution is coming.
Right.
It's here.
They're walking into your, meeting and speaking and letting you know how the fuck they feel from their standpoint at their age. Like, they're not scared.
No, it's true. Totally.
It's sick. So can you even imagine, the doors that your son is going to kick down?
100%. I was just having this conversation yesterday with my cousin and I'm looking forward to Alexi's generation.
I can't wait.
So excited.
Should I start playing Biggie's Kick in the Door for him now?
Sure.
So then by the time he's able to really kick with power.
Lullaby.
Right. And I will.
Yeah. But it's
his lullaby.
At the end of the day, the only thing that's inevitable is change.
100%.
So, and we're progressing, regardless if it's a lot of...
We hope that we are, right?
100%, regardless if it's still happening or not, there's progress. You know what I mean? Because the internet's helping that, because now people aren't getting away with it. Now people are seeing it. In the same sentence, it's also showing us who our enemy is. You know what I mean?
Which I love. I love a wolf in wolf's clothing, bitch.
Stab me in the front and not in the back.
Show me who you are.
I need to know.
No, I agree.
So that's progress. So
but at the same time, we have to take into consideration that in the 70s, the whole hippie run and the whole free love and all of that acceptance of everybody, we're just doing drugs and accepting everybody. And it was also festival culture. It was also a culmination of people. It was all of that. And at the end of the day, by the time the 80s and 90s came, those motherfucking niggas, those white people cut their ponytail off and went to work and voted for Trump this election.
That's true.
So we don't ever really know this, how cyclical whether it works in our favor or not.
The only difference now, though, is like I said, everything's being televised.
You feel like the digital arena is going to change
100%,
everything. I hope so.
Because even with that happening, we remember the trendy stuff. We remember the cool stuff that was happening. And that's why it was so not I don't want to say exaggerated, but like shined upon because that was the trendy cool stuff that was happening.
Right.
Now everything is being shined upon because it's all right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because
so that's what
I'm sure in the midst of all the drugs and all the we are love and we are one and blah, blah, blah was happening, all that other bullshit was happening too. But the only difference was we didn't have the internet. We didn't have TV the way that it was to actually like show it. So,
well, I mean, yeah. I mean, like there was just as much terror then as I feel like there is now. I don't feel like technology is ruining us. I feel like it's more so exposing us. Mm-hmm. Like at that time too, they had the Vietnam War. You know what? Oh, clearly it's exposing everybody. Let me don't.
But that's I would rather see who my enemy is than not know. You know what I mean? Instead of somebody smiling in my face and then telling me like, oh, hey, you know, whatever. And then really you're
full of shit. You're a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Right. Exactly.
I like to let me know immediately. I have a friend he's a really close friend of mine who I adore him. He's brilliant. He was fucking this girl for several weeks and then found out after like the third time hooking up with her that she voted for Trump.
Ooh.
So I told him like, you have to hate fuck her for the people.
Not a hate fuck.
You have to.
Yeah.
Because you've already been in her. So it's not like you can never unfuck somebody. I've tried. Trust me. You can't unfuck anyone.
Right.
You have to hate fuck her for the people.
And did he?
Yeah, he had to. I'm like, he had to. But could you imagine finding out somebody you slept with voted for Trump?
I don't know. I dealt with a lot of that in Australia recently. So
but like somebody that you would be intimate with. Like,
no, bitch. That's
so
crazy.
I want to document just on our podcast in general. We have 754 days, 20 hours, 17 minutes, and 10 seconds until Trump is out of office. I'd like to keep a tally on this just because we need something to look forward to.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
Let's get optimistic. Yeah. You think I'm cynical? This is my optimistic moment.
Okay.
Now we're looking at 20 hours, 16 minutes, and 50 seconds. Okay. So still about 750 days. We got a lot going on.
All right. We can rock it
I
out.
do think that this fucker is going to be like, I'm not leaving the White House at all.
Yeah, I've had arguments about him going to extend and do another term.
He's like, I mean, like, he can do another term. 100%. I'm going to be pissed if he does some like crazy shit where he's like, I want 3 terms too, and tries to like change the bills of like what's accepted and like what we're supposed to do generally.
We gonna see.
We will see.